Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast Live. Here we go with the Saturday night episode. Yes. Myself and my main man G. What's good, G?
What's going on, bro?
Maintaining. How you been?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about yourself?
Man, this Notre Dame USC got me in knots right now, but looks like we're gonna pull it off, man. We just huge defensive play to kind of probably save the game. So man, woo, this is a tough one. But yeah, everything's good, man. Everything's good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
All right.
Good
Got a lot to be
Thanksgiving.
thankful for, huh?
Yeah, really good Thanksgiving.
That's good, man. That's good. For anybody in the chat, man, appreciate y'all popping in. We got a pretty good show in line for you this evening, and we are gonna get right to it. So I'm gonna give my little spiel, and then we're gonna get it rolling. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio-only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. So first topic I wanted to discuss, obviously college football is almost there. We're almost to the end of the regular season in college football. I guess we are. This week is the final game of the regular season, and we will follow up next week with conference championship games, etc. Right? And so, what is it? We have the awards are going to be coming pretty soon here. So the question is Travis Hunter a lock for the Heisman Trophy? And this guy doesn't get tired. He's out there all the time, just a phenomenal player. What are your thoughts on Travis Hunter, G, and what you've seen from him?
He's a dog, man. Uber athletic.
Sure.
I'm concerned if talent's going to translate over to the NFL. Only because it's such a. You frozen?
No, I'm good.
You frozen. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. All right, there we go. Boom, okay. Good. All right, I'm concerned if his talents will translate over to the NFL, only because I think the Panthers are looking at number one, right?
I think the Giants
if that's the case,
right
then the Giants are number one
right now.
Either way, he's going to a really bad team, maybe, right? Maybe he'll end up with a really bad team. And we may not be able to see him on a decent team until after that contract. So that's for me. I don't want to see that type of talent be wasted. But I mean, right now I think he's like top 5, no question, top 5 athlete
no question. Yeah,
college football.
I think the skills. Yeah. My bad. I'm sorry. You good?
True. I didn't say anything.
My bad. I thought I was cutting you off. I apologize. No, I was saying I absolutely believe he's a top 5 player in college football, no question. But I do think the skills will translate. The only thing I'm thinking about is on the next level, I believe that he needs to focus on one position, whether it's locking in as a wide receiver or locking in as a defensive back. I think logistically, it would be very hard to play 2 positions in the NFL full time. He's not going to be able to do that. 1, because of the physicality of the game, and 2, because you can't be in 2 meeting rooms at the same time, right? You know, in terms of being in the defensive meeting room and being in the offensive meeting room, like that's not going to work. So you got the logistics piece of it. Exactly, Christopher. He's got to pick one in the league, but less the point being what he's going to be in the league. I'm looking at, should he have Heisman locked up? And of course, Coach Prime is he's pushing for that, and so are many people in the national sports media, and they have a right to. But I don't think it's necessarily locked up. For instance, we have his own teammate throws, but he can make every throw. He's pinpoint accurate. He's mobile. He can throw on the move. Like, I think Shedeur is a beast. And with that, uh I don't think that Travis Hunter's got it on lock, because his own teammate is going to take some votes from him, as a especially as a quarterback, right? Because we know, unfortunately, most of these awards end up going to quarterbacks, right? So I think that he will probably lose some points there. Then we got the absolute freak show running back from Boise State, Ashton Genty, absolute monster. This dude is leading the league in rushing, leading the country in rushing by far, by about just over 700 rushing yards, right? He's averaging over 7 yards a carry, and he's got 28 rushing touchdowns. He is killing. Now, early on in the season, he was they were saying he was on pace to possibly break the record in the legendary rushing season of Barry Sanders back in, was that 87, 88, I believe. And I think that's like 2,800 rushing yards. But the crazy thing about that, though, I don't know why nobody mentioned Monty Ball, because I think Monty Ball is second in terms of single season rushing. But anyway, Ashton Genty is an absolute beast, as you can see here for Boise State. He's just doing his thing, and he's probably going to be very good on the next level. And for those that say, well, it's Boise State, he played against lesser competition. Yeah, and he carved up most of them, but he also carved up Oregon, the number one team in the country, for like 190 rushing yards. So this kid is a monster as well. So, like, I think we got a really good field of Heisman finalists. Hey, look, Edward, man, chill. The Irish are playing violent. They're playing physical. They're playing angry, man. This is a football team that's ready to go to the playoffs, host a game, and see what happens. But anyway, yeah, Ashton Genty, just as you can see here, absolute beast, super athletic. He's got speed. He's got strength. He's got it all. Teams are consistently putting 8 and 9 in the box to try to stop this guy, and he's still got just under 2,300 rushing yards and 28 touchdowns on the season. Like, what do you do with that? We can't just ignore that. You know what I'm saying? We can't. Just an incredible season by that guy. And the last guy I will point to again, because this is a quarterback award, you have Dylan Gabriel, quarterback of the Oregon Ducks. I believe he's all-time leader in career touchdown passes in FBS now. I think he's second in career passing yards in FBS history. So he's right there. This season, I think he's 11th in the country in passing yards. So he's right there. So that's another guy that probably should get the call to New York City for the Heisman Trophy final ceremony. And the thing about him, too, his team is number one in the country and undefeated, right? So the winning plays a role also. I mean, all these things are things that we've got to think about when we are looking at this Heisman Trophy thing. Again, nobody is saying that Travis Hunter is not absolutely insane. What's up, Salam, Sneed? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Yeah, nobody's saying that Travis Hunter is not absolutely insane. It's just, I think there's some other really good candidates, and it shouldn't be locked up yet. So that's just my opinion. I think that the voters for the Heisman they've got a heck of a situation on their hands. If it was me, it would probably be a toss-up between Shedeur or Ashton Genty, right? Because remember, wide receiver is a very dependent position, right? So even though Travis Hunter is getting busy as a wide receiver, who's throwing him the ball? Shedeur Sanders, right? So he's got to get a lot of the credit for what Travis Hunter is doing on that side of the ball. I don't think we can necessarily get overly enamored with the fact that he's playing all these snaps and he's doing both sides, because, again, wide receiver is a dependent position. But that's me, man. What are your thoughts on what I had to say there and some of these other candidates?
No, I agree with you. Top five. I think a bigger story is where they're gonna end up after the Heisman, right? Like, we know that those 5 players are easily top 10. I'll say top 10, because you never know in the draft. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
teams don't like certain quarterbacks, right, for their to lead their team, and so
Mm-hmm.
I think easily those 5 players that you mentioned is top 5 easily. But like I said, the bigger story is where they're gonna end at, where they're gonna end up
Mm-hmm.
at the end of their, after the Heisman is over,
Right.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I try
I
to.
think that's a really really good story. I think maybe not tonight for this particular
Yeah.
topic, but
Right.
yeah, I can't agree with you. I see you snub Cam Ward though. You didn't put Cam Ward in there.
You know what? Yeah. No, he should have been in there. You're right. I don't have an argument for that. I wouldn't even think about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
No,
got
no,
it
you're
though.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have been
Yeah,
in there.
it's just
He's had a heck of a year himself. You're right.
so yeah. I mean, even so, like even with the players that you picked and with the honorable mention of Cam Ward, I think
Yeah. Yeah.
still they definitely have their hands filled. It'll probably come
Mhm.
back to preference, right?
Yeah,
Um,
I think so.
Yeah, and it will probably be a quarterback. Anytime you have all those many players dominating like you do, unfortunately for Travis Hunter, all the things he did, the playmaker that he is on offense, and the lockdown defender that he is, that may
Mm-hmm.
not be enough to solidify his position as a Heisman Trophy.
Right, right, right.
But nonetheless, kid is he a tier one athlete, and
Absolutely.
he has a decision to make, man. Am I going to play wide receiver and get the money, or am I going to play D
Yeah.
back?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. Closest
Yeah.
thing to I think Dion we've seen in a long time.
Mm. Mm.
Two-way player,
Yeah. I
offense,
got you.
defense, able to put points
Yeah.
on the board at a
Mm-hmm.
defensive position, and in the offensive position. But yeah,
Yeah. Great point.
see,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. And now you really got me thinking on this Cam Ward. you know, there's no reason he shouldn't be a Heisman finalist. That means one of the guys that I chose would probably have to end up dropping out of there. The question is he gonna? Man, that's tough. I think you got to have Ashton. It's probably going to be Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter, Shadur Sanders, and Cam Ward. Dylan Gabriel might end up dropping out of there because the stats aren't eye popping enough. However, if I don't even know if Syracuse held on to beat the U this afternoon. If Syracuse won that game, that means Miami has 2 losses, and they might hold the losses against the quarterback, right? Because a lot of
mm,
times, unless you're doing something absolutely absurd, there you go. Syracuse beat Miami. Yes. 42-38. So there you go. So now you're in a situation where they may try to hold those losses against Cam Ward, they being the Heisman Trophy voters. So yeah, this
42,
is going to get
38,
very
10 and
interesting.
2, 9 and 3. That was only their second loss though.
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
That was only their second loss. It's
yeah, and then
34 touchdowns, 7 picks. Overall
crazy
QBR
numbers.
87. Yeah,
Yeah,
3,700 yards passing.
fourth
Like
fourth in the nation in passing yards, I believe.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, that was a good point. Thank you for reminding me. Cam Ward should have definitely been in that discussion. This is going to be real interesting. Real interesting. Now the question is, I mean, how much do Shadur Sanders and Cam Ward hurt each other's Heisman chances, right?
Mm,
Because a lot of times you see maybe it's something like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the MVP voting. Do they take points from each other? You know what I'm saying? Could be something like that. So I don't know. That that
yeah, I
that
don't
that
know
stuff
the
happens.
criteria. No, I don't think anybody know the criteria in which they
Nah, I think
they
they
pick
like
the Heisman.
that.
Yeah,
Right, right. But yeah, so this is great. I think Miami's in big trouble here. Yeah,
yeah.
because now they got knocked out of the conference title game, so they have to depend on an at-large bid, depending on how the rest of this stuff plays out. And if Clemson wins the conference championship game against SMU, they'll get in. This is the best college football season I've seen in probably my entire life of watching college football. This is fantastic. I love this.
Wow.
This 12-team playoffs is freaking amazing. All right. Cool. So do we want to go ahead and open up the phone lines here, my man? See if we get any
Yeah,
calls on this.
I'm with it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and 219-8264. I'll put the number in the chat. 904-219-8264. 904-219-8264. Yeah, they got smashed by Penn State today, Chris. Definitely. But Maryland is a basketball school though. They've had a couple of guys go to the league in football, but they're primarily a basketball school. But yeah, why don't y'all if anybody in the chat has anything to say about what's going on in college football today, as well as this topic, Travis Hunter for Heisman, who they think should get it, give us a call and let's get it. Yeah, Maryland. Who? Frank Reich went to the league from Maryland, played a good amount of time. Boomer Esiason went to the league from Maryland. Sean Merriman, what's my man? Stephon Diggs. So I mean, they've sent some guys, but again, it's a basketball school. It's not so much football, which is crazy because that area produces some really good football players. So man. We're gonna get there, Laker Nation. We're gonna get Torrey Smith. That's another good one. Yes, thank you. Yep, that's another good one. We're gonna get there, Laker Nation. Chill. Let's let it marinate a little bit. We'll get there.